guys, welcome back to Old Path New Walk. Today I wanted to talk about teaching your kids how to clean. When I was a kid, I detested cleaning. I was always known as the sloppy kid in our house. But now as an adult, there is instant gratification for me to see something go from unsightly and gross to, oh, this feels so good because it's clean and it's fresh and it's functional. So I think that's a little bit of a testament to how teaching skills in childhood, even if they don't seem like they're going to stick, sometimes, I would say most of the time, they actually do. So that's promising, and that is somewhat of hope for you if you're trying to teach your kid how to clean things, but you don't really know where to start. So as a pediatric OT, one of the tools that I used to have in my toolbox to teach kids functional, practical skills is the idea of activity analysis. And at some point, I will probably do a video on just that and how that really works. But basically, it's just breaking down a task into the smallest form possible so that you can figure out and learn how to do different functional things, but learning all these intricate pieces that are involved in that. And so when teaching kids a skill, that's super important because they are learning those very small, intricate parts of skills that will later build into something bigger. Let's break this down into different levels. We'll start off at a basic level when you're teaching your kids how to clean and it's their first time doing it. This might be their first exposure to ever doing cleaning tasks. You're actually not focusing on getting anything clean. You're just trying to walk through the basic skills that they need to build off of later on to then do something cleaning wise. So you're focusing on skills like hand-eye coordination, how to manipulate and grasp different objects with their hands, and then also just the patience to persist doing a certain task. I feel like this is probably the biggest skill that's important in teaching kids pretty much anything, is just helping them establish and build that patience to continue learning and to be challenged, but to grow through those challenges. So at a basic level, I'm choosing really easy jobs that aren't going to spread germs all over my house. So these are areas like the kitchen or the dining room or doing anything with the floors. And you can allow them to help you with any tasks that you feel comfortable with in these areas. But I always try to figure out, okay, who's the kid that I'm working with? What is their foundation for skills? And then am I letting them just kind of explore this skill by themselves? Are we taking turns going back and forth doing the skill? So you can do the skill first, and then I'm going to do the skill, and then you do it, and then I do it. Or are we kind of figuring it out using hand over hand? So I'm physically helping the kid do a particular skill. Examples of skills that I'm talking about here. This could be using a squirt bottle for any kind of mess. It could be wiping up a mess with a rag or a towel, whether that's on the floor and it's more their level, or they're leveling up and doing something on the counter. It could be holding the cord for the vacuum and being able to give you enough slack, but not too much slack, or even holding the dustpan while you're sweeping. Then let's talk about an intermediate skill level. So these are kids who are a little bit more familiar with the task that you're trying to get them to do, but they might need a little honing of those skills. So you're trying to teach them how to do effective cleaning methods and to be efficient with their time and their resources. So how are they holding the broom? Are they kind of dragging it behind them? They know how to do it, but that's just not really effective. Or if they're trying to squirt a mess up off the floor. Are they using half of a squirt bottle of whatever cleaning product and then they're trying to wipe it up? Obviously, that's going to take a lot longer because they're having to absorb copious amounts of liquid trying to clean that up. So, just trying to refine their skills at this level. I would encourage you to start low and slow. So, if you're trying to teach your kid how to sweep effectively or efficiently, they know how to do it, but they might not be the best at doing it yet. So, maybe just start off with how they're holding the broom. Okay, so if they have the grasp right, how are they actually manipulating the broom to do what they want? Are they putting enough pressure on the ground? Are they losing their grasp on the handle? Is the handle way too big and they might need a shorter broom handle? Okay, so maybe they're doing that all really well. Then teach them the ins and outs of using a dustpan, like any kind of tricks that you use, like holding it at a certain angle or trying to get the big stuff first and getting all the little fine pieces of dust later. So once you have that down, then you try to work with them on actually using the broom handle and holding the dustpan, and they can manipulate both of them themselves. And that takes a lot of hand-eye coordination, specific motor patterns with that skill. So just starting basic and then working your way up without just terminating the task altogether. So maybe the kid is trying to hone their skills at just holding the broom handle while they're putting enough pressure on the floor. Great. Then you come in and do the dustpan. At least they're starting somewhere and they're not feeling overwhelmed by all of the different small, intricate skills that are required for the general skill. Any kind of success that you can offer in this skill level is wonderful. As the supervisor of this skill, you're providing really loving feedback, but not just talking them up. You want to explain what their strengths are with this, but also what are some areas of growth for this. Then you have the advanced skill level. So this is for kids who are pretty familiar with cleaning tasks and they do a pretty good job with you either supervising or you kind of stepping back, but you're still kind of watching them. This is the chance to let them kind of take the reins with whatever they're doing. So whether you give them a specific task that they're in charge of, or you could even give them an entire area that they're in charge of, whether it's, the kitchen or the dining room or the floors or the carpet or the stairs, whatever you feel comfortable with. But this is giving them a little bit more autonomy and a little bit more responsibility for how they're going to get it done. You could encourage this child to create their own checklist for the things that they need to be able to do to complete a task. You could even give them responsibility over higher traffic or higher germ areas. So for us in our house, that is the bathroom because it's gross, or like doing the dishes, because if you don't clean the dishes really well, I don't want to eat off of greasy or germy dishes. I'm sure you don't either. But giving them a little bit more responsibility so that they can continue to build their skills. Last, you have an observation skill level. So this is for kids who are not quite there to start doing or learning a task themselves. So this could be for kids who are just watching you and you've got them on the floor or sitting in a chair or just hanging out with you while they are watching you do the skill. You could give this kid the same kind of tool that you're using and kind of let them mimic it or even just feel like they're being a part of it. So give them a rag or give them the dustpan to play with if it's clean, or let them kind of explore the vacuum before you use it. You can let them choose something that makes it a little bit more enjoyable and engaging for them. So whether that's they get to choose some songs that they want to listen to, or an audio book while you guys are doing it together, or even playing a game of I Spy while you guys are working together and they're watching you. It can kind of help the engagement factor if they're not physically doing it with you. These are just a few ideas for how to kind of grade tasks when you're teaching your kids how to do cleaning in your house. Obviously, this is not an extensive list, but hopefully it's just somewhere to start and can maybe take some pressure off if you're feeling overwhelmed teaching your kids anything cleaning wise. Teaching your kids skills is not easy, so give yourself some grace and just try it. A little call to action this week. Let your kid help with one cleaning task this week. Preferably something that's not going to stress you out, but something that you can just start, baby steps. Thank you so much for joining. If you found this at all helpful, please hit the like button, and even if you want to hit the subscribe button so that you can be updated whenever I post new content. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going to try to do my own cleaning because it never ends. Hope you have a great day.